Hey everybody, this is Bill. I am the salty old Marine. Today's video is not about VA disability or healthcare. This is just a personal reminiscence. This is something that I've been thinking about lately. I don't know, maybe this applies to you, maybe it doesn't, but I'm throwing it out there. We'll see what it does. I was born in 1961, and I was alive when John F. Kennedy was assassinated, RFK, Martin Luther King. I was alive for the Cuban Missile Crisis, even if I have no recollection of that. I am old enough to remember black and white television and Saturday morning cartoons, and of course cable TV didn't exist. It was all over the air using an antenna, either rabbit ears on the TV or an antenna on your roof if you were lucky enough to have that, and 3 or 4 local television stations. Our telephones were hardwired. They were what they now call landlines, although we didn't call them that then because there was nothing else. There was only phones. And they all had cords, and they all had rotary dials. I even lived in a town that was small enough in Illinois that you only had to dial the last 4 digits if it was a local call. And newspapers were a thing. I delivered newspapers. I mowed lawns. I detasseled corn in the summertime in central Illinois. I don't know if anybody out there remembers anything like that, but I got paid $1.65 an hour to detassel corn in the summertime. And I filed my first tax return in 1973 from the income that I earned. And I remember the television that got rolled into the school classroom to witness the grainy but live video footage of the first time a human being stepped foot on the moon. And I remember the end of the Vietnam War and the Fall of Saigon. And many, many more things, right? VCRs, cable TV, MTV. I saw the very first video. Well, I mean, as it was being broadcast. Nixon, Watergate, all of those things, right? Kent State. Cuyahoga River catching on fire. Yeah, all of those things, right? And it's not so much that I'm old. It's not so much that I have these memories. It's that over time, these memories have become disconnected from basically the world. I still work for a living. I work full time. I work in IT. I work with a lot of young people, and they're very smart, and they're very capable, and they're nice people. They're good people. But they have no memory of the things that I talk about. I was born before they were born, of course. I was born before their parents were born. In some cases, I'm either contemporaries with their grandparents, or I'm even older than their grandparents. So when I talk about things that I lived through, that I experienced, it's a void for them. There's not even a nostalgic reference. There's not even oh yeah, my dad talked about that all the time, because their dad didn't talk about that all the time, because their dad didn't experience it either. And as a result of this, I feel more and more divorced from the world. It's not just that my experiences are old experiences. It's not just that I'm crusty. It's that my history no longer exists. It's not real. It never happened. That's how it feels. And I'm not sure how to process that. I don't really feel part of the world anymore. I don't feel like anything that I can bring to bear in terms of experience, in terms of history, in terms of the various zeitgeists of various times, how people felt, how people responded, how things worked, how processes occurred that were just part of my life, part of my workflow, part of my everyday experience, and probably some of yours too, right? I feel like those things no longer matter. They don't have a bearing. They don't have any reason to continue, to be replayed, to be studied, to be learned from, because there's nothing of value there. In fact, it didn't happen. Seriously, I might just as well have not been alive for the JFK assassination. In fact, maybe JFK wasn't assassinated. Maybe there's no such thing as JFK. I don't mean that in a literal sense. Of course it happened. I mean, in a cultural sense, it might as well have not happened. It's like I'm talking about Lincoln's assassination. That's how utterly devoid of reality it is. And the further I get from my base in years, the more I feel like I'm not just a time traveler, but a traveler of alternate universes, that I come from a place that no one's ever been. I'm fictional. I'm not historical. I don't really exist. Now that's a lot, and maybe I'm stretching a little bit. But sometimes that's how I feel these days. Drop a comment if you have any idea what I'm talking about, or if you just think I'm nuts, because that's also possible. Anyway, we'll get back to the VA disability and healthcare talks here shortly, but I just wanted to throw that out there because it's been kind of on my mind lately. This is Bill. I am the Salty Old Marine. Please like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend. Tell a friend to stay the hell away. Whatever. I appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for watching. And as always, have a great day.